take it. "Are you okay?" I looked up, almost panicking. "Sure. Why?" Trent's eyes ran over me as if searching for the truth. "You're quiet today?" I was quiet today, meaning we'd been spending enough time together that he knew the difference. Forcing a smile, I handed him his putter. "Just trying to stay in the background." He took it, eyebrows high, and I'd swear I heard him sigh as he turned away. Head coming up, he stepped onto the green and joined in the light banter between the other CEOs. My heart was pounding, and I dragged my melancholy ass out of the way to rest under the shade of the storm shelter. "Just trying to stay in the background," Jenks said in a high falsetto. "My God, woman. Your aura is glowing. Just admit you like 'em, bump uglies, and get on with your life." "Jenks!" I exclaimed, then wiggled my fingers apologetically at the man lining up his putt. Smirking, Jenks landed on the storm shelter's rafters, his hand carefully going over a small wing tear to even out a raw edge. "That's how pixies know we're in love," he said as he folded his dragonfly-like wings and wiggled out of his red jacket, wincing as something pulled. "If the girl has a glow, she won't say no." Nice. Arms over my middle, I set the bag down and watched Trent. Glad the girls were coming back tomorrow. With Quen taking up security, I'd be able to wrap my head around reality. I was confusing my work with everything else, and I was done with being confused. "How's Cookie Bits' game?" Jenks asked. "He looks as distracted as you." Frowning, I raised my hand as if to bop him, but it would never land. Cookie Bits. That's what Jenks had been calling Trent ever since he caught us sitting in his car outside the church after a job. I'd only wanted to hear the end of the news, but try telling Jenks that. "Tank's little pink rosebuds. The local pixies are more stuck up than a fairy nailed to my church's steeple," Jenks said, giving up on getting a rise out of me since it wasn't working. "I'm wearing red for a reason, not because I look good in it. Look what they did to my coat." Disgusted, Jenks held up the bright red jacket Belle had made for him, poking his finger through a hole just under the armpit. I stiffened, suddenly seeing his small wing tear in a new way. A pixie wearing red should have been given free passage. I'd been seemingly everywhere in Cincinnati with Trent the last couple of months, but the country club was the worst. I hadn't known Jenks was having issues. He'd probably been too proud to tell me. "You okay?" Jenks froze, his pale face becoming red to make his shock of curly blonde hair look even more touslable. His wings hummed, sifting a pale yellow dust to color his head to toe in working black. He looked like a theater guy, but the sword hanging from his belt was real enough, having had deterred everything from bees bothering his children to assassins bothering me. "Yeah, sure," he said, embarrassed. "I just don't like dodging arrows when I shouldn't have to. We're cool as a breath strip." He squinted at me, head tilting. "You sure you're all right? I'm serious about your aura glowing. You got a temp or something?" "Jenks, I'm not in love," I replied grumpily, ignoring the odd tingle rising through me as Trent crouched to line up his putt. Cincinnati's ley lines were faint but discernible, the upwellings of power usable even at this distance, if not for the course's ward of no magic, in place to prevent tampering with the game. I'd found a way around it weeks ago, but it almost felt as if there was a line the next hole over, and I looked back the way we'd come. That big man in the lime green pants was standing between the markers with his club. We were too close for them to be teeing off, but even the practice swings were making me nervous. It was only a par 3, as in on the green in one drive. Rach?" Jenks rose up, hovering by my ear as Mr. Lime Green Pants swung. There was the crack of a ball, and my heart jumped. "Oh, no, he didn't," Jenks said, and I stiffened, tracking the ball's path. "What do you think?" I whispered, skin tingling as if I'd tapped a line already. "I think it's going to be a problem." "4!" I shouted, lurching out into the sun. Heads turned, and Trent remained crouched where he was. Instinctively, I sent out a ribbon of awareness, easily bypassing the no-magic ward and tapping the nearest ley line. Energy flowed in with unusual sharpness, burning the inside of my nose as it seemed to come from everywhere, not just the line, as I filled my chi and forced the energy back out through the pathway of nerves and synapses to my hands.